What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning into the channel, Stone Mandalorian. Thank you for joining me. Today we're going to be doing a figure review on the archive series Commander Cody, which was first released in I believe 2013 or 2014. I think it may say on the back of this box. No, it doesn't say on this one, but I do believe this one was released in 2013 or 14. For a while, I'm pretty sure it was a blue line figure. And for a while there, it was pretty up there on the aftermarket, and they released this in the archive, which they do with older style bodies and stuff like that. So this is a reissue, and I'm gonna crack this thing open and get into it. He's probably, along with many other Star Wars fans, he's probably my favorite clone of all time. My name is Cody, so when I was first creating this channel, I almost thought about calling it Commander Cody's Collection, just because my name is Cody, but ended up going with Stone Mandalorian. I just thought it was more suiting for me, but this is, just looking at it in the box, it looks freaking awesome, dude. And I do actually have this in box. This is going to be one that I keep on the shelf loose, but I'm really excited to get into it. I know this is an older body, older clone body, so the articulation is somewhat limited, but it just looks so awesome. The yellowish orange paint looks great. The visor looks great. Got the normal, I think it's a DC 15 or something like that. The typical clone blaster and the rifle as well. So I'm really excited to get this thing open. So let's get into it. The thing I like about these archive boxes is they typically don't put tape over the accessories and the rifle, so they're just a lot easier to get out. Don't have to worry about cutting them out. And here is Commander Cody on the turntable, and he's looking as badass and fantastic as ever. And first thing I can say, getting this figure out of the package, obviously it is an older figure. I can tell by the articulation and the pins. But this figure's got a lot of paint on it. A lot of good paint application. And I was kind of looking over it. Most of it's really clean. There's a couple spots on his back of the belt that I saw that were a little sloppy, but the rest of it is just great. His ranking plate looks good. The bronze on his armband and one of his pouches on his belt. The slight bronze on the backpack here is just very, very clean. The visor looks good. The little white paint detail on the visor. The gray and the blue. The gray's cleanly applied. The little blue lines on the side where the vents are cleanly applied. Just a really badass looking figure. Even though it's an older figure. This was released in, like I said, 2013 or 14, I'm not quite sure, but that was when the line first started. And for this being an older figure, I've never minded pins too much. I like, obviously if I had a choice, I would prefer the pinless look with the deep cut elbows and knees, but this double joint articulation with the pins, it doesn't bother me a lot. But considering this is an older figure, it does hold up with current Black Series somewhat. It does have some thigh swivel, bicep swivel, and we'll get into that when I go over more details. But this is a really solid figure, and Cody, that orange yellow, it just really pops on the shelf. He's a very iconic part of Revenge of the Sith and the Clone Wars, the animated series, and just a really awesome looking figure. Very good paint. So I'm going to get a closer look at him. So starting off, here's the clone blaster. Get this to focus real quick. Here's the clone blaster. Just a black molded plastic. I believe it's called the DC-15, DC-15A or something like that. A typical clone blaster we've seen in the line before. And I forget what the rifle's called. It's escaping me at the moment, but also molded in a nice black plastic. Very good looking. That looks awesome. It's a badass rifle. Very nice details on down towards the muzzle in the barrel right here. That's nice. And Cody himself. Look at that detail on the visor, man. The paint on this thing is just incredible. Really, really awesome job. Slight little bronze on the antenna right here. Silver paint on the antenna right here and his rangefinder. Blue vents are very nicely applied. The little yellow near the breathing apparatus, these filter things. The blue on the vents is really nice. The gray on top is cleanly applied. Look at that bronze right there. That just really pops. Looks very good. Very clean. Right here on his armband too. It's bronze. Here's those double jointed pins. And here's his belt. And this is accurate to the movie. This part of Cody's belt is gray, and there's only a part of it that's yellow. That is very accurate to the movie. I just love this orange paint, man. I wish I was more comfortable with like customizing and stuff, because this, he would look sick with some slight weathering to him. Pins in the legs here. This orange is just awesome. Kind of hide the pins in here with that white. This is the only spot that was really sloppy, is just right there at the top. As you can see, kind of goes all on the bottom, and then they just kind of missed the top right there. But that's so minuscule, dude. I'll get over that. Ain't no thing. But yeah, this is really nice. Very good paint. Look at the paint. Look at his rank plate. Let's see if I can get that to focus. Very cleanly applied with the silver around it, and the blue and the yellow on it, orange, whatever you want to call it. And the grill looks good on his Phase 2 helmet. Yeah, man, this is a sick figure. This is awesome. So, with these pins, it does somewhat inhibit articulation. Holy shit, I cannot speak. With these pins, it does somewhat inhibit articulation. And as you can see, his armband there, it kind of prevents him from going. I mean, that's almost right at 90, almost 90. So these double jointed joints are cool to an extent, and you can see it kind of, his pads kind of raise above his armor. Not getting a whole lot of T. That's about as far out as he can go. And he can kick his leg out quite far. And you can kind of do this without even having to like turn like some of the other clones. You can kind of just kick right up. You can get a pretty good bit. The double jointed knee right here. There we go. That's below 90. But as you can see, once again, just the design of the figure, the mold, it kind of inhibits it. Those were cut out. But no big deal. I like the way that the knee pads look. They look like they sit pretty even and well on them. I just love this bronze paint, man. That just looks so good. On the jetpack back here. We can get about as far out of a split as we can get right there. He does have a vertical trigger finger and a horizontal grip. A little stiff. This is a little bit stiff. Once I mess with it and pose it a little bit, it'll probably get better. And it does have bicep swivel, so that's nice. And thigh swivel right here. No knee swivel or anything like that. And you can get some slight rocker action, but it's not a whole. Oh, well, there we go. Yeah, it was probably stiff earlier. So it does have rockers on it, and you can get to about that far. Kind of right here where the sculpt kind of inhibits how far down it can go. Kind of runs into this piece right here. And he can come up a little bit. Can't really go far back, but he can come up a decent amount. I'm probably just going to have him standing there, though. No kind of crazy dynamic pose. The paint, man. Just the paint, the gray and the orange, yellow, whatever you'd like to call it, and the bronze. It just looks really good. He can look up a fair amount. He can look down quite a good bit. And it is hollow under here. There's no There's no like face underneath it or nothing. It's just a typical ball joint. You get some slight head tilt. And you can turn pretty good. You can go 360. I'm not going to do it though. The arms go through 360 as well. Go pretty good actually. Kind of slides right back over. Not bad at all. So for this being an older figure, that being said, this is still solid. You gotta have Cody on the shelf, man. That orange just pops. He's a very crucial part of the Clone Wars, like I said, Revenge of the Sith. Yeah, solid figure, man. Gonna let you see some side-by-side comparisons. Here he is next to the new clone body, 2023 clone body, the Phase 2 plain Grunt Trooper. Here's Cody next to the new Padawan Ahsoka. Next to Clone Wars Maul. And lastly, here he is next to quote-unquote Commander Jesse. Even though the helmet is freaking wrong with the fin and the rangefinder, we're going to let that go though, for now. With this being an old body released back from all the way 10 years ago, from 2013 at the start of the line, in my opinion, it does still hold up with the other figures on the shelf. You definitely need to go get an Archive Cody if you don't have him on your shelf yet. Solid figure. I love it. I'm so excited to finally have him loose. And I can't wait to get a Clone Wars Kenobi to have him stand next to. So thank you for sticking around and watching this review. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, give me a like. I'd appreciate it. Maybe even consider subscribing. I do a lot of Black Series and other Star Wars content and stuff like that, so I really appreciate it.